accompanied by a number of military chiefs and religious leaders, including Ras Seum, Ras Kasa, and the chief abbot, Haile Selassie returns thanks to Almighty God for the restoration of his country. Today, Abyssinia rejoices. And now the triumphal procession, headed by Ethiopian troops. The royal car makes its way to the palace as a salute of 21 guns mingles with the greetings of the crowds thronging the tree-lined route to the emperor's home. Arriving in the palace grounds, the emperor is greeted by the General Officer Commanding-in-Chief, East African Forces, Lieutenant General Cunningham. After 5 years of exile, the dignified ruler of Ethiopia mounts the steps leading to the palace balcony. With his son, the Duke of Hara, beside him, the emperor calls upon his people not to reward evil with evil. Do not shame Ethiopia, he said, with acts worthy of our enemies. Haile Selassie has triumphed over Italy's profane fascist regime. Britain has set the conquering Lion of Judah once more at the head of a united Abyssinian nation, freed from the yoke of the tyrant.
L'impérialisme, le néocolonialisme, le racisme, le fantonchisme, gloire, dignité, pouvoir, la patrie ou la mort, la patrie ou la mort. Merci camarades. Je ne serai pas long. I'm not going to be long parce que ceux qui vont précéder ici ont dit ce que doit être la révolution. Because those who were here first have defined what the revolution should be. La camarade membre du comité central a bien expliqué ce que doit être la révolution et ce que doit être notre engagement. The comrade from the central committee of the AAPRP have explained what revolution should be and what should be our engagement. Le camarade révérend a dit en des termes très ironiques ce que doit être la révolution. The comrade reverend, very ironic, has defined what revolution should be. Les camarades des autres régions du continent et hors du continent ont expliqué aussi ce que doit être la révolution. The other comrades from diverse continents have also explained what revolution should be. Les chanteurs, les danseurs, les musiciens ont dit ce que doit être la révolution. The singers, the dancers, the musicians have also expressed themselves on what revolution should be. Ce qu'il nous reste à faire, c'est faire la révolution. What we have to do now is to make revolution. Tout à l'heure, lorsque j'ai vu ce ballet, j'ai senti que nous étions effectivement en Afrique. A few minutes ago, when I saw this ballet, I knew I was in Africa.
Yeah. And a wonderful and blessed evening
evening to each and everyone. Definitely, of course, giving thanks to the life giver and the keeper of life, Emperor Haile Selassie the First. And of course, at the moment, you're definitely in tune. All right, this is the nest. We're talking about the Tiger's Nest right here on Radio Anu. Talking about the international flavor, the universal spice. What a joy. And you were just listening to the voice of one Thomas Sankara. Of course, today being the 21st day of December, actually, we're celebrating the anniversary of the birth, the born day specifically, of one Thomas Sankara, something we'll be getting into a little more in the program this evening. But also, even as we speak about the 21st day of December, today being the winter solstice, the beginning officially of the winter solstice, as it still has a mystic time frame from the 21st to the 23rd. Some people even see it on the 20th, but it all has to do with the mathematics of the heavens. So we're very thankful for this day. It is considered to be the longest night. Yes, this evening should be the longest night. And of course, as I said, that is the beginning of winter in the Northern Hemisphere. But interesting, that would be like the beginning of the summer season in the Southern Hemisphere. So we got to be very mindful when we observe these things as it relates to the heavens and the movement of the seasons. So, of course, we definitely had a wonderful hike today to Green Castle Hill. And of course, I took the opportunity, as I always do, to continue my diligent research as it relates to the rocks in Green Castle Hill and their connection to the seasons, to the solstices, to the equinoxes. So for those who may be a bit void of what I'm saying, which I'm sure there are not too many, Green Castle Hill, that's right here in Antigua. Mount Anu, we refer to it as. And this Mount Anu Green Castle Hill is a hill that is very unique in the earth, as it has countless of volcanic megaliths protruding out of the mountain, connecting and corresponding with the astronomical clock. That's like the root of Green Castle Hill. That's the main deal as it relates to Green Castle Hill. Rocks. Countless of rocks. Follow me good. Rocks. Countless of rocks. Not any old everyday pebbles and stones. Volcanic rocks. Meaning that they were once molten lava. And also at the same time, they specifically, you will show, that they align with the heavens. They align with the movements of the stars. And of course, in all respect, pardon me. Yeah, so the astronomical clock, this is the mystics. So you have rocks that you cannot give a number to. Big rocks, eh? In fact, some of you listening to me, you've already visited us here in Antigua. And as I've taken the hike to Green Castle Hill, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. So we're talking about humongous rocks, volcanic rocks, specifically aligned with the astronomical clock, with the movement of the heavens. And of course, at the same time, remember, we're talking about large, big, stones. And as we observe the movement of the sun and its connection with the atmosphere, we'll notice now that at the same time, you have what is known as hierophany. And that is when the sun meets the rocks, or the heaven meets the rocks, meaning that when you can observe the different alignments that is made by the sun, the moon, and the planets with the structure on planet Earth, that's the hierophany. So the structure on planet Earth that we are speaking of is Green Castle Hill, the countless of megaliths that are on Green Castle Hill, And of course, at the same time, the heavens itself, like now, the sun, it's just coming out of Scorpio, going into the Archer constellation. And in the Archer constellation, you have Mercury and Venus aligned with the sun in a row. And then, of course, you have Saturn, not too far from them, on the horn of the unicorn. Saturn is still there. And then, of course, the moon is getting very close to the sun as we speak. So all of that beautiful rendition is taking place in the heavens as we speak. You know, so family, those of you who never took the time to come and visit us here in Antigua, to take the hike with us to Greencastle Hill, I'm telling you, now is the time to prepare yourself. Remember, we have the upcoming equinox, which will be the spring equinox. That will be in March. And in fact, you don't have to wait for no equinox. You don't have to wait for the solstices. You don't have to wait for anything. You can just contact us and let us know that, hey, we're going to be in Antigua for a week. Or in fact, we're coming to Antigua to visit you, so that we could definitely be a part of the trek and the hike going up to Greencastle Hill. You know, wonderful experience, family, a very moving experience, a very calming experience. Those of you who are seeking balance, those of you who are seeking a moment of meditation, those of you who are seeking a bit of inspiration, those of you who are seeking knowledge. I mean, trust me, this is a full package when it comes to the geology of the earth, the ecology of the earth, and those of you who are interested in preservation and all of this thing about climate change and taking care of the forest. They had this thing the other day, COP15. Now 27, this is the next one they had, talking about saving the forest. And I think Antigua, the Environment Division, signed some sort of agreement about saving forests and trees and sacred places. I mean, I wonder what they're thinking about, and they still have not ceased the demolition that is taking place on Greencastle Hill. But of course, another story for another agenda. So give thanks for the winter solstice, and give thanks for the beautiful hike that we had to Greencastle Hill today, and give thanks for all of you who are listening, who will be making sure that you are with us in March for the spring equinox. In fact, how many of you have checked our company, Rastafari Experience Antigua, on TripAdvisor? Not the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge now. This is a different company all by itself. Rastafari Experience Antigua. Just check us out on TripAdvisor and see what we have to offer. You can do it now. You understand? And then for sure, you could begin to plan your visit with us for March, for the marvelous, wonderful extravaganza that we will be having, talking about this spring equinox. Now, as I said also at the beginning of the program, today, the 21st day of December, also is the Earth Day of one of Africa's great revolutionary heroes, an individual who most of us never knew anything about. In fact, I would say that it is only in recent times that outside of, the geopolitical arena, but just in the arena of knowledge and information, it is only in this modern time, the latter few years as such, that the knowledge of Thomas Sankara and who he is and who he was is coming to the surface. You always hear about Kwame Nkrumah. You would always hear about Jomo Kenyatta doing a thing. You would hear about Patrice Lumumba. Even Idi Amin, you hear about these people. But many ones would have never heard of Thomas Sankara, who is the leader, the revolutionary leader of modern day Burkina Faso, formerly Upper Volta. Well, of course, as we say, we're celebrating his birthday. We have the Honorable Princess Acacia Menin with us, of course, representing and chief researcher right here at the Priest Isaacs Institute of Holistic Knowledge. And of course, we will be speaking all things Thomas Sankara, and we are officially, I would say, having the groundbreaking of her brand new book directly dealing with the life of Thomas Sankara, and we will be definitely going into all of that in a few moments. So let me begin by saying, blessed love, honorable princess.
Blessed love.
And give thanks for your presence. And it is a wonderful day, is it, as we are celebrating the life of Thomas Sankara?
Yes, we're celebrating the 73rd anniversary.
73rd anniversary of one Thomas Sankara. Well, you know, we're going to be talking about your new book. What's the name of the book again?
It's called Sankara, Tales of a Soldier.
Family, I want you to understand this, eh? As I said, this is the groundbreaking of the book because today is his Earth Day. And we are going to be giving you a special opportunity from here until the book is officially launched on the 7th of January, which is not too long from now. Now, the book will be only $20 US. This is an ebook, only $20. You get it straight from our website, Priest Isaacs Institute of Holistic Knowledge, or you contact us. Listen good. This book was created by the Honorable Princess Acacia Menin. This is my daughter. Give thanks, Honorable Princess. All 15 years of age of her created. And I'm telling you, because I've witnessed this, how she has diligently taken her time and has done her research to prepare this manuscript that we have in front of us, dealing with the life and times of an African hero, which many of us are not aware of. I'm talking about Thomas Isidore, is it?
Thomas Isidore Noel Sankara.
Noel Sankara. A lot of what I would have learned about Thomas Sankara, I would have learned from my Honorable Princess Acacia Menin as it relates to Thomas Sankara. So I am saying, as an author and as a scholar, that I give enough respect to the works that she would have done, and I am telling the audience that she would have given time to the research and time to the preparation, and of course editing and everything went into this masterpiece that I'm sure you would be delighted when you get hold of this book written by this young one. And of course, as I said, the book is $20, but for those who would make their pre-order the book, because you can pre-order the book. And when you pre-order the book, it's not for the same $20. You would get the book for $15. So those of you who pre-order the book tonight, you will get it for $15 anytime before the 7th of January. So when the book is officially released on the 7th of January, then it is the official price, $20. Very good. So, Honorable Princess Acacia Menin, as I said this evening, we will be speaking of a bit of Thomas Sankara. But before we go too far, since it's the 21st day of December, tell us just a little bit about, Thomas Sankara's birth and, where he's from and maybe parentage and a bit of his young life, and before we continue.
Well, Thomas Sankara, I want to say about his full name though.
His full name, yes.
Yes, Thomas Isidore Noel Sankara. The name Noel is a French word and it actually means Christmas.
Noel means Christmas.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes, I guess that's the reason why he was born on the 21st.
Very good.
Which is 4 days before Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And Thomas Sankara's life, it was almost like any others. He was a very promising student, well behaved, and he was very smart too. An intelligent young child that caused him to excel in, I would say ourselves, but he excelled in mathematics and the colonial language of French. Yes. And for those of you who didn't know, Thomas Sankara is also speaks fluently in his native tongue, Moray.
Moray.
Yes. He actually spoke this language in a few speeches to other tribal people. Yes. And
what tribe is this? By sorry to cut you there, but I didn't cut you, but sorry to interrupt you. What tribe is this? What's the name of the tribe that speaks the language? Is it the Moray also, or
Mosai?
Mosai. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Mosai. It's spelled Mossi. Some people pronounce it as Mossi.
Mossi, right? Okay, very good. Sorry, so he's from the Mossi tribe.
Yes, but he's also from the Fulani tribe as well.
How you work that out?
His father was half Fulani, half Mosai.
Okay, all right, of course.
And his father participated in the Second World War. Yes, and he was also a little crippled, sometimes passed away. Yes.
Very good. All right, Honorable Princess. That's just the beginning. You know, we hardly have started the program yet. This is just like a book. This is the preface, family. This is the introduction of the program. Hey, man, we're having a wonderful program this evening. We are celebrating the winter solstice. We're celebrating the 73rd anniversary of the Earth Day of Thomas Sankara, officially having the groundbreaking of the Honorable Princess's brand new ebook, and it will be in copy version, but we cannot say when that will be printed, or printed version, I should say. But of course, when you pre-order your book from tonight, going forward until the 7th of January, when it will be officially launched, you will be getting a somewhat of a discount price, 25% off of the book, 25% off of the price of the book if you pre-order from now going until the 7th of January. So that's, just a wonderful vibe, a wonderful energy. Hey, we're going to speak a bit more about the book in a few moments, but right about now, we're going to touch upon, what's this brother's name, Empress?
His name is Sam Skeleja.
Sam Skeleja. He's
otherwise known as Kareem Sama.
Kareem Sama. He's one of the biggest Thomas Sankara fans that they have, eh? And this is a song that he did as it relates to Thomas Sankara. Some of you may have heard it before, but if not, let's give it a listen.
Le Burkina Faso est venu vous exposer ici. La cotonnade produite au Burkina Faso, tissée au Burkina Faso, cousue au Burkina Faso pour habiller les Burkinabés. Ma délégation et moi-même, nous sommes habillés par nos tisserands, nos paysans. Il n'y a pas un seul film qui vienne de l'Europe ou de l'Amérique. Je ne fais pas une dessinée de mode, mais je voudrais simplement dire que nous devons accepter de vivre africain. C'est la seule façon de vivre libre et de vivre digne.
Sankara, Sankara, mon président. Sankara, Sankara du Burkina, il est venu en homme intègre pour bâtir une Afrique digne. Sankara, 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 mon président. Sankara, Sankara du Burkina, il est venu en homme intègre pour bâtir une Afrique digne. Sankara, 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 le soleil ne se couche jamais. C'est l'homme au contraire qui s'éloigne de la lumière de Jah. Sankara, 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 le soleil ne se couche jamais. C'est l'homme au contraire qui s'éloigne de la lumière de Jah Rastafari. Sankara, 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 mon président. Sankara, Sankara du Burkina, il est venu en homme intègre pour bâtir une Afrique. Afrique digne. Sankara, Sankara, Sankara.
Yes, family, beautiful melody here. Thomas Sankara.
Par ton sacrifice suprême, t'as donné ton sens à ma vie. Ton sang et la sève, il nourrit à jamais notre espoir en l'homme liberté. Par ton sacrifice suprême, I say, t'as donné ton sens à ma vie. Ton sang et la sève, il nourrit à jamais notre espoir en l'Afrique. Come again, come again. Come again, come again. Sankara, Sankara, mon président. Sankara, Sankara du Burkina. Il est venu à mon intègre pour bâtir une Afrique digne. Sankara, Sankara, Sankara. Sankara, Sankara, mon président. Sankara, Sankara du Burkina. Il est venu à mon intègre pour bâtir une Afrique digne. Sankara, Sankara, Sankara.
This is the first time Traore Aluna has been to the grave of his good friend Thomas Sankara in 27 years. Sankara was president of Burkina Faso until he was assassinated on October 15, 1987. He was in a meeting with Aluna and two others when he was killed. Aluna played dead to save his own skin. He was the only survivor.
And of course, we definitely give thanks to the life giver and the keeper of life, Emperor Haile Selassie I. Sankara, Sankara, oh President. Yes, I give thanks, for such sounds and of course, Honorable Princess Akesha Menin, give thanks for your presence and, well, you're always present really, but give thanks for being with us in the nest really. And of course, we are celebrating the life of the good Honorable Thomas Sankara and this brother that sang about him. Sometimes people may think you're idol worshiping or, but you see, when you have somebody like the likes of Thomas Sankara, who would have done such great works for his people, and yet still taken out in his prime. I don't even think he reached his prime yet. You have to keep these things alive. You have to sing about these heroes and like how we do programs, how you wrote your book. We have to keep this information in the ears and in the eyes, in front, on the table for the people to see. So we don't, repeat these mistakes that we keep making, not having enough respect and appreciation for our leaders to the point that people can just come and kill them and we just cry and blow our nose. It happens too often. But my good Honorable Princess, as I said, your brand new book that has just, well, I would say come out, because basically, family, the book is done, eh? The book is done, and this is why you could start to pre-order your book from tonight. The book is done. It will be officially released on the 7th of January. Officially, you know, we can tell you, you know, just a few little, you could say, touching up we're doing on the book, but the book is completed. So again, when you pre-order it from tonight, you could get it for 25% will be taken off of the price. So you get it for only $15. Honorable Princess, Thomas Sankara, what would you say to someone who was to ask you, if they were to ask you, I should say, who is Thomas Sankara? You know, you're signing, or you're ready to answer there. You're doing a book signing and whatever, or you're selling the books and somebody says, Thomas Sankara, who is he?
Well, I would say that Thomas Sankara was the president of Burkina Faso after a man named Jean-Baptiste Ouedraogo. And he's been president for about 4 years. Yes, from 1983 to 1987.
Okay. And who was the president before him, you said?
Jean-Baptiste Ouedraogo.
Okay. Tell us, and Thomas Sankara would have worked with him?
Yeah, he was appointed as prime minister, and he delivered valiant speeches. And there was a story that he cut off the light power of Supreme Multi Chief Naba Baongo.
Who did that to Naba?
Sankara.
Okay, go ahead.
Because he hadn't paid the bills in years.
Come on, Naba, better than that. All right, go ahead.
And here's when things get a little bit more hot.
That's when he cut off the current of the chief.
No.
Oh.
This is the meeting. Thomas Sankara again denounced corruption.
Yes.
Some of the people left the seat, and Jean-Baptiste Ouedraogo is like, yeah, I have enough of him. So he put him under house arrest.
For denouncing corruption?
Yes.
Okay.
And Sankara was fired. And this is the second time that happened to him. The first time was when Thomas Sankara quit Sayobo's government. He stopped being the Secretary of State for Information, because obviously that's not what he wanted.
Okay.
And Sayobo arrested him in Dedugo for about 2 months away from the country.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was far away from the capital, Ouagadougou. Ouagadougou. Burkina Faso's capital.
That's okay, up to today.
Yes.
Okay. So, and let me ask you, at the time, it wasn't called Burkina Faso. At that time, was it?
Yes.
It was already given the name Burkina Faso before Thomas Sankara came to power?
No, it was called the Republic of Upper Volta.
Okay, right.
It was only when Thomas Sankara came that Burkina Faso was renamed. This was a year after he came to power.
Right. Okay, but before we even get to him coming to power and even in that adult stage, earlier you told us a bit about his youth and how, you know, where he was born and his ethnicity, his tribe and his language. Very good. All of this is in the book, by the way. Very good, you know. So once someone gets a copy of this book, you know, they would have a good outline of not only who Thomas Sankara is, I would say is, not was, but you also chronicle his steps in the book, which I found very interesting, you know, from, as you just started, his early beginnings to when he was assassinated and even afterwards, and the influence that he would have on many people. So wonderful works. But as a child, you know, in your book, you made quick mention of a situation that to me highlighted his revolutionary sort of tendencies at an early age, when it had to do with Upper Volta getting independence and the dropping of the French flag and you know, just as a child playing with other children. Do you want to just give us a quick rundown of that story for the audience?
Well, as family were preparing for independence, that's when Thomas Sankara noticed the flag of the Baltic flag. And
Baltic flag.
Baltic flag.
Baltic flag. Okay.
Yes.
That's the flag of Malta now.
Yes. And for those of you who didn't know, it's black, yellow, and it's red.
Black, yellow, and red. Very good.
So Thomas Sankara and his friends were playing flag raising ceremony.
Mm-hmm.
The French flag was dropped down, and then he hoisted the flag up of Malta.
Wow.
Now, one European boy did that like this, and there was a little squabble.
So give me that again. One European
boy.
Oh, European boy. Mm-hmm.
He wasn't happy with that.
Oh, he wasn't happy with that. Okay.
And that caused a little squabble.
All right. All right. These are just children.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. So these children, Upper Volta, which is Africa there, former Burkina Faso, the former name of modern day Burkina Faso. And they were just playing, having fun.
Mm-hmm.
Drop the French flag, rise the new flag. And you said some of the European children got upset.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. All right. So that is just showing you that even from a child, he was ready to rule and he wasn't taking no smack from nobody. Very, very good. I think in your book, you also said that when he was born, his father said that here is a captain or captain.
A captain had been born into the family.
A captain had been born into the family. And that is very so true. A moment ago, we were listening, you said?
So I guess that prophesied the fact that he was going to be captain, not of an army, but of the country.
But of the country. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We just heard the song here from Sam Skeleja in that easy. And Sankara. Let's just hear a few words from him as well.
Sankara, mon président. Sankara du Burkina. Il est venu en nos mains tête pour bâtir une Afrique du Sankara.
Sam Skeleja keeps the president's memory alive through music.
I sing about Sankara because Sankara is my Bible, he's my Quran, he's my Jesus, he's my Muhammad. That's why I sing about him, because he's the one I know, and he's the one that taught us some values. So to me, Sankara is the light in the darkness.
When he became president, Burkina Faso was poverty-stricken. Just 10% of the population was literate, and infant mortality was high. But Sankara had a fresh outlook.
No. Thomas Sankara, give thanks to that, tell us some of the accomplishments, Honorable Princess. And again, to the family, all of what the Honorable Princess is sharing with us is within her book. And of course, give us the title of the book again.
Sankara, Tales of a Soldier.
Sankara, Tales of a Soldier. You could get the book by visiting our website, the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge website, which is priestisaacinstitute.com. As I said, the book will be officially available on the 7th of January, and we are having the official groundbreaking ceremony here. You are in a position to pre-order your book. If you pre-order it from now going forward until the official launch, you will get it at 25% off, which will equal to only $15. But yes, Honorable Princess, give us some of the accomplishments that you may have. And there's so many. I mean, I could name a few, and I don't think I'll be robbing you of what you have to say. Even just to change the name to Burkina Faso, the land of upright man. He's a man that would have definitely brought the country out of poverty. We all know that he lived on a very, what you call, nominal sort of, uh, existence, really. And he encouraged that for his cabinet members and those who were in the government. So no more fancy living and flashy lifestyle. We're coming to a level where we all will benefit on the same level here. He also he empowered women, definitely empowered women. So without stealing the thunder, give us a few of the accomplishments that the good brother had.
Well, Thomas Sankara, I'll say he's one of the men who had no problem with getting his hands dirty.
Oh, he didn't have any problem doing the work.
Yes.
Yes, like Jerry Rollins.
Yes, because he participated in, I'll say everything. He did housing building programs. He planted over several million trees.
Million?
Yes.
Wow.
And well, some of you in Burkina Faso would look at the trees would assume that Thomas Sankara planted them.
Oh, yes.
With the help of the government, with the help of his comrades.
Of course. Beautiful. That's a lot of words.
And he also flew to many countries as well. He went to Russia, USA, and he also went to Cuba. Yes, and he's a good friend to Muammar Gaddafi and Fidel Castro.
I mean, the world didn't like him then.
Yes, and there's a famous quote. He said that they don't like Gaddafi, but they do like his money for petrol.
Yep. And I definitely did see that. So we would also notice that he also had a kind of funny relationship with the president of France at the time. I think that was Mitterrand.
Yes, Francois Mitterrand.
Yes, Francois Mitterrand. I would have seen some documentaries that they would have sat with each other a few times, and some interesting stares were given. You think you could give us a little insight on what would have been taking place in some of these meetings?
Well, Thomas Sankara has been in enough conferences with Mitterrand, the retail conference, and there was also a gala dinner in Burkina Faso.
For the French president.
Yes. And this is not any ordinary welcoming that some people may get with just saying hi to the slave master. And Sankara showed Francois Mitterrand that, look, we can do this by ourselves. We don't need the IMF or the World Bank or whatever it is you have.
So he did not...
Francois Mitterrand really commend Thomas Sankara for his work, but also claimed that he's a bit disturbing and too sharp.
Too sharp, you see? Yeah, because he's not a regular kind of Negro, you know? And as he said, he don't need no International Monetary Fund, which is the IMF. You don't need no World Bank. We don't know who the World Bank got, what they are all about, and the IMF too. You know, so that would have been very shocking. So tell us about, well, I would say tell us about his demise, his assassination, because if I'm not mistaken, the same French government, you know what I mean, had a horse in the race when it came to how Thomas Sankara left the scene. And we haven't even mentioned Blaise Compaoré.
Yes, Blaise Compaoré. Well, I would say Blaise Compaoré was showing a bit less confidence in himself and the revolution. Yes. I would say he was showing a little bit of weakness. And people were going to be suspicious of him, and they knew what was going on, but Thomas Sankara would deny it in some sort of way.
I can imagine.
Some people may say that Sankara was disappointed in the fact that Blaise Compaoré was going to assassinate him.
Imagine that.
And with the support of France, Blaise Compaoré sent troops to assassinate Thomas Sankara and 12 other members. So I would say there were about 14 altogether.
That died, yeah.
Well, Aluna Traoré was the only survivor in the coup. So it's...
what's his name?
Aluna Traoré.
Aluna Traoré.
Yes. So Thomas Sankara and 12 other ministers, I'm not going to mention their names at the moment, were assassinated.
All of this is in your book.
Yes.
Christ and his 12 disciples, eh?
Yep.
Yes. All right, Honorable Princess, I give thanks again to the family. Sankara, Tales of a Soldier. Definitely, you could pre-order the book written by the young princess Acacia Menon. Give thanks, I'm telling you. A lot of works, a lot of effort, a lot of research would have gone into the book. And definitely, many of you who don't even have an idea of who Thomas Sankara is, and even those who know who he is, trust me, the book will definitely be a benefit to you. And of course, enough appreciation to the young princess for all of this works. That's all we got to do. We got to show love and appreciation to the young ones. And I will say that even with her right next to me, not because it's my daughter, you know me, family. We got to show young ones appreciation when you see them do these sort of works. You understand? So they understand, well, listen, I came into a world, I'm a part of a team, and I'm doing my part, for the liberation of our people. So I'm very appreciative of this. And as I said, we're even giving you that discount if you pre-order your book before the official release of it, which would be the 7th of January. If you order now, you get 25% off of such. And Robert Princess, give thanks for such.
That's it now.
Family, listen to this one here.
Exactly 34 years ago today, the charismatic Pan-Africanist and Burkina Faso's then president, Thomas Sankara, was shot dead aged 37 by soldiers during a coup on 15 October 1987. 4 years before his assassination with 12 others, Sankara and his close friend Blaise Compaoré staged a coup that brought them to power. It was under his rule that the country was renamed from Upper Volta to Burkina Faso, meaning Land of Upright People. Sankara himself led an austere lifestyle. He reduced his own salary and that of all public servants in the country. He also banned the use of government chauffeurs and first-class airline tickets just to cut waste in government. During his stay in power, he made education a key priority. The literacy rate increased from 13% in 1983 to 73% in 1987. He also oversaw a massive national vaccination campaign. To boost the economy, he redistributed land from local chiefs and gave it directly to poor farmers, which led to a huge increase in cotton production. However, he was not popular to Western nations because he adopted an anti-imperialist foreign policy which challenged the dominance of France, which continues to retain huge influence in many of its former colonies in Africa. In his honor, an imposing 6-meter-high bronze statue now stands at Thomas Sankara Memorial Park in the capital, Ouagadougou. It was unveiled in 2019 and then reworked last year following complaints about the first version. 10 years after his assassination, his widow, Miriam Sankara, filed a criminal complaint in 1997 over the murder of her husband, but it took 15 years for the Supreme Court to rule that the investigation could continue. However, little progress was made until Mr. Compaoré was overthrown in 2014. The following year, remains believed to be his were exhumed, but DNA analysis was unable to confirm they were his. In 2016, the Burkina Faso authorities